This is a humorous history podcast. We're the goofiest historians. Our new motto is truth when necessary, but humor at all costs. We're not real historians, we're not real comedians, but we're confident that this will be mostly true and somewhat funny. Today, we're not going to talk about any specific battle or any person or character. What we're going to do is try something new, and it's going to be called Grab a Random Date from History. And the object is just at random to see how we do. And this is where I play the drum. Okay, are you ready? Do you want to pick it? Oh, no, you can't. I have to pick it. Okay, you ready? Okay, our random date in history is
3000 BC.
3000 BC. All right. Are you ready? That's our date. And it could be anywhere on the planet, right? It could be in Mesoamerica. It doesn't have to be in Egypt.
Yeah.
It could be in the Far East.
Yeah, it's like the Shang Dynasty in China.
The Shang Dynasty. I have no idea what that is. Go ahead. Tell me what the Shang Dynasty. Otherwise, we're going to talk about Egypt. Or we could talk about the Olmecs.
Yeah. Olmecs in you mean Central America?
Yeah, I think they were around that time.
I don't know.
And Mayas.
Yeah. Or we could go back to
because in Egypt they were already in Egypt they had already had some pyramids up by now.
So the three dynasties historical was the Xia and the Shang before you get to the Zhou dynasty. The Zhou is the dynasty in China that lasts the longest. But before that, it was the Shang. And the Shangs are the ones who actually started coming up with the Chinese script. But what they did, they used it for divination, right? They did it. So they got these big tortoise shells, not like the little ones we had when we were a kid. I mean, these are like big river turtles, right? They got these shells of the river turtles. And then they wrote stuff on it in what would become Chinese, but it was like letters and words, right? And then they heated it up, and then they poked it, and then it cracked, right? And how the crack went, if it went up or down, that would be the answer to whatever they're asking for, right? So it'd be like, is Princess Leia gonna have is Princess Wang gonna have a healthy male baby, right? And then they heated it, and then it cracked, and they go, yes, Princess Wang is going to have.
That's like reading tea leaves or something.
But what was cool about the way the Chinese did it, right? It's like they were analytical and a little skeptical even back then, right? Because they were doing this to their ancestors, like Ancestor Bob, right? Is Princess Wang going to have a next baby? And they go, they write it. And then they ask him again. They go, is Princess Wang gonna? And they go, okay, no. And then they recorded the answers, right? They just didn't do it, right? They did it like 10 times, and they go, he answered yes 7 times and no 3 times. So they didn't say statistically, but that's what they were thinking, right? It's like they're going, well, since the ancestor said 7 out of 10 is going to have a good baby, right? Healthy male baby, then that's what we're going to believe. But they didn't stop there, right? So they're recording this. They actually record this, for God's sake. How many times they had yes, how many times they had no. And then they answered, and yes, it was a healthy male baby, right? So this is a good ancestor to ask things from, as opposed to an ancestor that was, giving you wrong answers.
All right. So let me make sure I got this right. So after they asked him multiple times, it took so long to get the answer that they actually had the baby and they knew. So then they could go back and record, and this is all done on the same shell.
Verifying the answer that the ancestor had given, right? So they got 7 out of 10 that's going to have a good baby. Then they put that away. They recorded it, right? And
Sure.
put it in a safe place. And then they waited, and then she had a baby, and it was a male, and it was healthy. And they go, "Well, see, this is the ancestor you want to pray to."
Well, there you
And,
go.
and then they,
I guess it worked, right? Because now they have Chinese writing, and we'll be back next week. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in.